Pregame.com.
While it's still more than a week away, Fez, you're already finding some value as far as the NBA Finals goes. This is Brad Powers in the Pregame.com studios just off the Vegas Strip. And for the third straight year, barring a monumental comeback from Boston, we're going to see Cleveland out of the East, Golden State out of the West. And Fez, where are you currently finding some value as far as the NBA Finals goes?
Values on Golden State minus the 260, your 2017 NBA champions. It's all about power ratings. Golden State being the far superior team. Now, I do my power ratings. I update them at pregame.com each and every week on Wednesday. I've got Golden State 14 points better than an average team. An average team is 0. I have Cleveland plus 9.5. But I got to tell you, I think Golden State, which started at 13.5, and I now have 14, maybe they should even be 15. I've been reluctant to bump them any higher because, frankly, this team by quite a bit is the highest rated NBA team I've ever had since I've been doing power ratings. And because of that, it's very difficult to put them to an even higher level in the stratosphere.
Now let's talk about Cleveland as far as their power rating. You actually think you're maybe giving them the benefit of the doubt as far as their 9.5 power rating.
Yeah, Cleveland was terrible regular season, second half defensively. I only had them 4 points better than an average team. Playoff start, second gear, I bump them to 6. Not enough. I made a mistake. They certainly had a second and a third gear. They probably should have gone up to 8.5. I have them at 9.5 right now because they played so well against Toronto, but there were hiccups against the Pacers. They only won those 4 games by 16 points. We've seen some niches in the armor against Boston. 9.5 might be even a little bit too high.
Now, let's talk about the last two finals between these two. I think people forget that, Golden State won the last 3 of the 2015 series, and then we're off to that 3-1 start last year. So they had won 6 out of 7 games against Cleveland, but you think just one game, one incident is really affecting this line, maybe even more than 100 cents.
Yeah, and remember, Curry was only about 70% in the finals last year. I think if Curry had been healthy, they would have won. But he wasn't healthy. They're still going to win. They're up 3-1. Draymond Green, knucklehead, gets suspended, game 5. They're laying 7, and the line starts crashing downward. They lose that game. They lose the series. If he doesn't get suspended, they win that game. I think the narrative is this is a dynasty team. They're even better this year, and they'd be laying minus 420 in the series. But because of one game, that game 5, now the narrative is more, we've got 2 Titans clashing, 1-1. This is the rubber game between 2 pretty, somewhat comparable teams. They're not comparable. It's all an overreaction to that one game.
Yeah, let's talk comparison Golden State last year. Obviously, regular season, they set the all-time record, 73 wins. This year, with the addition of Durant, how is their power rating different this year's team compared to last year's?
Yeah, I got him. Durant's worth 3 points by himself. So they are up to 14 versus 11 last year. Now, Curry wasn't 100%, but also the rest of the team wasn't necessarily 100%. They chased that record. They wanted that record. Let's get the 73 wins. Much better. They coasted to 67 wins, lost a game late in the year to Utah. This year, much better situation.
Your second main handicap.
Matchups everywhere for Golden State, not just the power ratings. They've got home court advantage. That's obvious. And they've got a fine home court. Matchup advantages. Cleveland, how are they doing it in the playoffs? Bombing threes from the perimeter, making over 40% of them. Well, what team sees 3-point bombers more than any team in practice? Golden State. They'll be in a position to go ahead and stop it. And I think that the series revenge, people disagree with me, but I really feel like all year long, Golden State has circled this rematch. I'm convinced if the Bulls had ever lost to Utah, if they played Utah again in the finals, they would have crushed Utah with that extra motivation. You can talk about 100% all you want. I'm like this is Spinal Tap guy. I think you can turn it up to 11.
Now, let's talk home court. I'm curious, what are you giving Golden State as far as a per-game basis, and how are you pricing as far as how much home court means for the entire series?
Yeah, I give them 4 for home court. So they have a very fine home court edge. But the key here is having that home court edge in the finals. Let's say things don't go well for Golden State. Let's say Cleveland, like the movie Meatballs, rises so far above their expectations that they actually win 3 out of 6 games. even if they do this, not only will it just doesn't matter, as Bill Murray would say, we'll still cash our bet, or we'll be in a position to cash our bet, because Game 7 will still be minus 260 on Golden State. So if disaster strikes, we still have a fair bet.
All right, Fez, let's make it official.
Let's make it official. Golden State is the far superior team. I have them personally rated 4.5 points better than Cleveland, and they have numerous edges. They have home court edge, they have matchup edges, and they have series final revenge. The Fez math says back Golden State minus 260. There's no way that number is going to last. It's available right now in Vegas. More videos at pregame.com.